Hey there, this is Ragnon, and this is a drill that I wanted to share with you that I'm calling the spinning plates drill. And this is something that you can use to practice what it feels like to get into and sustain the maximum amount of healing that Resto Druid is able to provide in a 5-man environment. A good example of where this type of healing was actually needed in a real world case was in Halls of Infusion. If you remember the ice boss where she had like really sustained rot damage, it was really oppressive and it lasted for the entire duration of the fight and it never really eased up. That's where this type of healing would apply. And then any other boss ability that you're healing for is honestly this exact same process. It's just a scaled down version of it where you are potting up the group leading up to the damage event. And then once the damage hits, then you're cashing in on all that work and all those mastery stacks that you prepped with, and you're cashing in with like a Convoke or a Tranquility or spamming regrowths or something like that. This drill is based on a stunt where you spin plates. It looks like this. You can see the performer is running back and forth and he's keeping track of all of these different plates, and as something needs attention, he goes back and prioritizes that. So you can see this one's about to fall. He runs back and then he's checking, do I have capacity to add something new? Nope, he's got to take care of these. And then he looks, is everything good to go? Do I have time to add this? Yes, I can add this task. And he keeps going until he has all of the plates spinning at once. That's, in my opinion, the perfect example of what sustained healing looks like for Resto Druid. So for this drill, I'm going to use this chart that I used for my Mythic Plus guide, and we're going to focus on these priorities in this order. We're going to focus on 1, 2, 3, and then actually 5. And the reason for that is because it's sustained healing. The healing is needed all the time, but it's not super bursty. It's just prolonged. But as we get all these up, if we have taken care of all of these other steps, all of our hots are good, our plates are all spinning, then we can go ahead and cash in with some regrowths. But for the purposes of this drill, we're not going to be casting Convoke, Tranquility, or Ironbark. We are going to be working our Grove Guardians into this though and trying to avoid capping. So I'm just going to try to stay at 0 stacks and just keep them out the entire fight. Okay, I'm going to talk. I can't unfortunately keep this image up while I'm doing the drill, so I'm just going to talk through it one step at a time. Priority 1 is your maintenance spells, your 2 life blooms, and your Efflow. It needs to be up at all times. Priority 2 is your clear casting. And you'll see down here, I have a weak aura that I made that tracks the stacks of your weak aura. There is this built-in leafy thing that Blizzard has, but it doesn't show how many stacks you have. I made this. You can find it on wago.io. It's called, I think, Ragnon Clear Casting Tracker or something like that. And this makes it so that you can queue up your next global. You know how many back-to-back casts of regrowth you need to cast to get rid of your clear casting stacks. Step 3 is Swiftmend into Wild Growth. We're going to be pairing those together. We're going to be linking those 2 cooldowns for this drill. And again, the reason that's a strong choice is because it's consistent damage. We're getting high value from having even heals on everybody with this empowered Wild Growth. And then the next priority is Rejuve. We're going to be trying to keep as many Rejuves up on the party as possible. I recommend that you do this with your whatever Mythic Plus build that you're running, but I do want you to swap out to Abundance. And the reason for that is just purely so that you can track how many Rejuves you have out. You can use this Abundance tracker on your weak aura pack or whatever to see how many stacks you've got. Ideally, we want to get as close to 10 as possible, which means you have 2 per party member, without dropping all of the previous priorities. I have a stopwatch here, and you can, if you don't know how to turn this on, you can click up here on the time, and then you click on show stopwatch. I like using this for drills like this. This is to see how long you would be able to keep up this type of healing. This maximum throughput type of healing obviously ends when you run out of mana. So let's go ahead and start the drill, and I'm going to do my best to talk through all of my processes that I'm doing to keep up with this checklist in that priority order. So Starting in 3, 2, 1. I need my maintenance. So Life Bloom, Efflow. And now we can go ahead and Swift Mend into Wild Growth. We don't have any clear casting. Now we do clear casting. I'm going to start getting rid of my Grove Guardians. We have a clear casting. I need to refresh my Life Blooms. Okay, we're good. I'm going to go ahead and keep applying some more rejuves to the party. Swift Mend's backed up. Swift Mend into Wild Growth. Let's go back to doing some rejuves. I don't have any clear casting. Now I do. Clear casting. Refresh our Life Blooms. Efflow is about to fall off. Let's go ahead and refresh that. And we're back to doing rejuves. Let's get rid of that Grove Guardian. We have Swift Mend into Wild Growth. I have clear casting. Let's spend that. Back to rejuves. Life Blooms need to be refreshed. I'm at 10 stacks. Let's go ahead and spend clear casting. Let's spam a couple regrowths just for fun because I'm maxed out. Okay, now we need to Swift Mend into Wild Growth. Get rid of that Grove Guardian. Back to applying rejuves. We're spending our 2 clear casting stacks, so let's refresh this Efflow. Cashing in on these 10 stacks we have of abundance. They're gone now. Swift Mend into Wild Growth. We need to refresh both of our Life Blooms. I think it was down to 1 stack for a while, so that was a mistake. Putting rejuves across the party. Let's get rid of that Grove Guardian. We have clear casting that needs to be spent. Swift Mend into Wild Growth. Got to take care of that. Life Blooms are about to fall off. Let's refresh both of those. Get rid of our clear casting stack here. Efflow needs to be refreshed. We have another clear casting. Okay, we're good. We're back to rejuve spamming. Coating the group with those. Clear casting needs to be spent. Our Life Blooms are falling off. Let's refresh both of those. Swift Mend into Wild Growth. We have clear casting now. We got to get rid of that Grove Guardian. And back to looking for low duration rejuves on the party. We need to refresh our Life Blooms. Life Bloom. That one was okay duration, but I want to keep them linked together. Swift Mend into Wild Growth. We got to refresh our Efflow. We got to get rid of that clear casting. And we're back to doing rejuves, looking for low duration ones. Got to refresh that Life Bloom. I'm pairing those both together just to keep it consistent and easy. Getting rid of our Grove Guardian stacks. Swift Mend into Wild Growth. We have 2 clear casting. We got to get rid of those. Okay, and now we're back to looking for rejuve opportunities. Got to refresh these 2 Life Bloom stacks. Got to get rid of these 2 clear casting. And we're just about out of mana. So about 2 minutes and 30 seconds-ish. Each time I've tried recording this video, it's been somewhere between 2 minutes and 2:30, depending on clear casting stacks and stuff like that. But that's the drill. So again, this is practicing the muscle memory of what it feels like to spool up to your maximum healing that can be sustained. Again, we're not doing cooldowns and stuff like that in this drill, but you would be realistically adding those in to give you some breathing room. You could be stretching your mana also by adding in things like Innervate. Your cooldowns give you some breathing room to catch up and to save your mana a little bit, and so on. Any other heal check is a scaled down version of this. So most boss abilities deal their damage over the course of like 5 to 10 seconds or so. Some last for longer. Some are much burstier but shorter. So really this just practices the maximum that you would need, and then you'd scale it down per boss. I was going to add in a section where I talk about all of the different bosses and kind of what your heal check would look like, but I'm going to do that in a separate video because this video would be too long. I already tried that and it was like 30 minutes. So we'll save that one for another one. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you enjoy this drill. It's a great way to build up that muscle memory in a controlled environment. That way you've built up the good habits so that when you get into a dungeon, if you need to spool up maximum healing, you know what it feels like, and you can rely on that muscle memory. Please hit me up in the comments if you have any questions, and otherwise I will see you in the next one.